right, guys. I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Bold and the Beautiful edition. I'm not going to hold you long on this at all. Today is Wednesday, September the 21st, 2022. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 6.5. We start off by seeing Hope and Brooke, and Brooke is leaving a message for Ridge, just letting him know that she missed him. She didn't get to see him that night, and she didn't get to see him that morning. So I'm like, okay, so obviously y'all are not sleeping in the same bed or in the same room, because how are you missing him or whatever? Unless, like, because I know I'm not a light sleeper. I mean, I'm not a heavy sleeper, so I can feel when someone gets in the bed and gets out of bed. So that's why I'm thinking that they're not sleeping in the same bed or whatever. But anyway, so Hope hears this and she asks Brooke about it, and she says she didn't get to speak to Ridge, and she said we didn't have our romantic night. And she was like, why? She said he stayed over to Steffi's too long. I mean, yeah, he stayed over to Steffi's too long. And she said, and then, she said, you didn't try to reach out. And she said, when I called, Steffi answered the phone and she blocked me from talking to Ridge. Steffi is the reason I didn't get the night. And Hope is just like, oh my gosh, how could Steffi do this? And I said, the bigger question is, oh my gosh, how could Ridge spend all night over there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would he stay that long? Why wouldn't he go home? This is just so frustrating to watch at this point. And like, I'm sitting here watching this episode, and okay, when they start talking about like we need to put a stop to this, Steffi is actively trying to break up your marriage, and Brooke says yes, she is. And then they say we need to put a stop to this, and Hope says I'm gonna go talk to Steffi, and then Brooke says I'm gonna go talk to Taylor. The thought of them talking to each other made me cringe, because I was like, oh my gosh, we're about to watch another scene. Like, didn't y'all just do this? You accomplished nothing. Steffi and Hope just spoke, and all you did, Hope, was get your feelings hurt because this girl talked about your mama in your face and did not care. So now, what do you think going over there again is going to do? I'm so sick of this. Them not holding Ridge accountable for anything. He stayed out all night until you came home so late that you were asleep. Why are you not holding? Like, why are you not going to talk to Ridge? Why are you not holding? Oh my gosh! It's like she's so scared that she's going to lose him that she doesn't want to rock the boat and say anything. The same way, Hope is so afraid of what Thomas will do. She doesn't want to rock the boat and say, hey, bring Douglas home. Like, y'all two need a backbone. Let's move on. So then we see Zende, Thomas and Steffi, and they're just talking about the design Cindy and Thomas came up with after Eric went to bed. They created and collaborated, and they created a fantastic design. And so Steffi's very happy, and she says, we're shooting on all cylinders. Is it that? Anyway, she says we're doing so great. Like, Douglas was with you now, Thomas. I have Finn back in my life. The family's doing good. The designs and the creativity is flowing. The only thing we need to do now is get mom back together. And so at that point, Taylor walks in, and Taylor's like, "Oh my gosh, Steffi, you have to stop." And Steffi looking at them like, "Why y'all didn't tell me she was behind her?" Girl, you don't care. And but then Steffi was like, I'm just saying, we're doing great as a family. And she said, you're trying to recruit Zende now. This is Taylor, and Steffi and Zende is like, no, I mean, we were just saying how the family is just coming together. I said, go on and take your exes, Zende. Didn't nobody ask you? And so then Zende said, when Taylor says, I don't want you interfering in like this anymore, and you're messing up your dad's marriage, messing with your dad's marriage. And Zende says, well, that sounds like a private moment Boxing Day. Go on now. And so that leaves Thomas, Taylor, and Steffi. And Taylor puts her foot down. And I was like, this is my girl right here. So she puts her foot down. And she says, Steffi, stop. Like, that man, your father is married. Whether you like it or not, he is married to Brooke, and you cannot actively try to mess up his marriage. So I want both of you to stop this. And they try to go into this whole thing. You're meant to be together. It's supposed to be. So I can't hear this anymore. And thankfully, Taylor said, I know, because she said, just stop it. Y'all need to focus on yourselves. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all know how I do. But y'all need to focus on yourselves and leave me, your dad, and Brooke alone. Like, let it go. So then Stephanie goes to the office, and that leaves Thomas and Taylor to speak. And she just says, I'm so happy. Everything is going great for you. What do you have planned? And he said, I'm going to get finish something at work or something, and you then get Douglas, and take him to the state fair. I said, you still got Douglas? Like, no comment. So then she's just like, I'm so happy everything is working out great for you. So then Brooke comes in, and Thomas, he already know what Steffi has done. So he says, you're looking for Steffi, huh? And she says, no, I found the person I'm looking for. I'm staring at her. And Taylor says, that's your cue to leave. And Thomas is like, play nice. Get yourself on, sir. I don't know. I'm just sick of them. I'm sick of them. How you gonna tell somebody to play nice knowing what your sister did? Like, ooh, child. So then Brooke says, I'm here because you need to get your daughter under control. And Taylor says, how you gonna come to Steffi's house talking about what I need to get under control or whatever? And she says, Steffi is out of control. She's actively trying to break up my marriage to Ridge. And Taylor says, I know. And I just told Thomas and Steffi that they need to stop doing that. And Brooke was like, really? And she said, yes, believe it or not, I told them that, and I told them they need to stop, and it's not okay for them to do that. And so then she said, because but I told them to stop, but I don't see how that's hurting you or whatever, because Brooke made the comment of like, we had a romantic evening plan. And she says, yes, I know you had a romantic, she says, what does that have to do with Steffi and her ruining your romantic evening? She said, because he was here all night. And Taylor said, yes, we were with family, we were celebrating. I said, how many times y'all go, Finn is up surfing, he is at work, what are we celebrating still? You already have said we're happy for him to be alive. Actually, I was like, okay, it's over. We're happy that he's alive. Let's move on, because I cannot hear y'all talk about one more time. Oh my God, just seeing you together, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's a miracle. Yes, 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 we know. Like, we're happy. But anyways, Brooke was just like, and because Brooke said Steffi stopped him from coming home. And she was like, how did she stop him? Brooke said, I called. And she was like, what do you mean you called? Because Taylor had told Brooke, you had all day to coordinate with Ridge and let him know he needed to come on home. So, I mean, him being over here, that's not our fault that you didn't do it. And she said, I called him, and Taylor was just like, I didn't see a phone call. I didn't hear him on the phone. And she said, Steffi answered, and she would not let me speak to my husband. She blocked me. And Taylor was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. I don't want to believe this. You already know it's true. And she said, well, you can believe it. Brooke be tickling me. And so she said she actively is trying to ruin my marriage. She wouldn't let me take the phone call or whatever. I said, you forgot to say she hung up in your face. Brooke said, that's enough, girl. Oh, okay. So they're gonna talk. They're gonna continue to talk tomorrow, I guess. So then Paris and Steffi are looking at Zenday's and Thomas designs, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Great. I said, go by, Paris. Bye. And she says, Hope comes in, and Paris is like, hey, Hope, look at these new designs. And Steffi gonna turn around. Hey, Hope. I said, B. That's why I can't stand you. That's why I can't stand it. And so Hope says, yeah, I'm gonna look at those designs, but right now I need to talk to Steffi. And Paris is looking like, oh, it's about to go down up in here. And Steffi's like, okay. And so then Hope tells Steffi, how could you block my mom from talking to her husband? You know they're married. And because Steffi gonna tell Hope, having Paris leaves very unprofessional or whatever. Did she say unprofessional? She said something along those lines. And Steffi is like, Hope is like, speaking of that, you don't take marriage vows sacred, because like if somebody was doing this to Steffi, what she was doing to Brooke, she would have a fit. She really would have a fit. But she just tells Hope, it is what it is. My dad is where he needs to be. I said, where is Ridge? I thought he was at work. He's where he needs to be. And she just tells Steffi, like, you're trying to start a war with us again, and I don't even understand why. And they're gonna pick up this conversation tomorrow, y'all. So then we get to Bill. Wyatt and Liam, and they're just talking. And I said, well, Bill, do you still want Katie? Because he's talking about how Bridge should be on his knees every day, thanking God that he was blessed to be in Brooke's life. And he gonna describe her. She has that twinkle and that smile. I said, now wait a minute, sir. See, that's why Katie don't want you. That's why she don't want you. Katie, you doing the right thing. Don't go back to him. And leave him alone too, because he's still hung up on Brooke, child. I mean, imagine that. And so Wyatt and Liam are just like, what's going on? Why? Because Liam is like, why were you at Brooks? You know how Bridge feels, and you think the man seeing you at his house wasn't going to cause problems. And he was like, dressmaker need to calm down. Like he was like, I was over there talking about Katie, and we ended up in a slight embrace. I said, you hugged Brooke, and she hugged you, and it wasn't nothing to it. Bill, stop it. But anyways, they're just all talking about how, they're Liam tells them how like Thomas is pretty much holding Douglas hostage, and Hope has to go over whenever she wants to see him. He said, and of course I'm not invited to this. And Wyatt said, well, we're all saying, why do these grown kids care? Why do they care about who their parents are with and everything? Like they're adults. And Bill said yes, because adult kids should stay out of their parents' business. And they're just recapping and saying they don't understand what's going on in all this. And then Liam tells him how with Thomas, he just hopes that Hope does not get wrapped up in everything that Thomas is doing, with trying to withhold Douglas from her, and really just try to manipulate her. But y'all, that was the Bold and the Beautiful today. I hope I held you way longer than I planned on, because honestly, the episode wasn't too much. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for another episode of What Happened on the Soaps Bold and the Beautiful edition. Thank you for watching.